Hi everyone, today I'm going to be making poulet au cidre, and for that you're going to need 6 chicken breasts, which I had to cut up 3 large chicken breasts into 5 pieces, 3 onions, but I have 2 pretty large onions, and then you're supposed to have 2 golden delicious apples, which I've substituted for gala apples because Kroger didn't have any, and then you're going to need cream, 2 tablespoons of cognac, if you have it. If not, I'm sure it's not a big deal. And then you're gonna need a hard cider. The recipe calls for a brut cidre, but I called my local market and they have this semi-dry one from Mackinac. I didn't say in my intro, but Mackinac is an island up north in Michigan. If you have the chance to go there, it's really cool. You can get fudge. There's no cars allowed, so everything's horse-drawn. But anyway, here I am prepping my vegetables, slicing my onions, showing you that I peeled them first before slicing them. And then you'll see I didn't peel the apples. The recipe didn't call for it. I sort of just cut it around the core, as you'll see. So I'm left with a square shaped core. And then the 4 slices I get from the apple, I cut them in half, long ways, and short, and then I make them into cubes. So I don't show you my whole cubing process with both apples, but you can see if I find any that are too big or sort of misshapen, I go back and cut them smaller. It's not super important to make sure they're even or anything. You just don't want them too big. Yeah, and here I am melting butter in a pot. So when I'm done prepping the onions and apples, I pour them into the melted butter. Everything is simmering, or saute is the correct term, and you saute them until they are golden. Here I am in another pan melting butter, which I'm going to add the cognac to, you'll see in a second here, and eventually the chicken too. I don't know if my mom and I have sensitive noses, but cognac is a very powerful smell. It'll smell kind of boozy in your kitchen if you make this, so just fair warning. I don't necessarily think it's necessary to add this. So if you don't have cognac on hand, I wouldn't bother going out and buying an expensive bottle. But here I am browning the chicken on both sides. You see I use this fork when I'm handling the raw chicken, and when the chicken is cooked, I switch to tongs. That's to prevent cross-contamination. You don't want to have raw chicken touching anything. That's kind of icky. So when both sides of the chicken are browned and the vegetables are browned, I add them all together, give them a good stir. I then add my cider, my Mackinac cider, and let it simmer. So once the chicken, apples, and onions kind of have a chance to marry each other, I take the chicken out, and at this point you start to work on the sauce that will go over the chicken. So this is where the cream comes in. You're going to measure that out, pour it in, mix it all together, and let it simmer over the stove. You want to start making this sauce once you've noticed that about 2/3 of your cider has reduced. That means it's evaporated. So once everything's all heated, I plate it. I put the apples, onions, sauce. I get a little bit of everything, put it over the chicken. And I hope you guys enjoy.